Let's have a closer look at gems from all over the world, which seem to be being sold everywhere now, and I do believe originate on Temu. So let's take a closer look at what I'm sure is going to be super accurate. Alright, let's start in the top left-hand corner with Luke in absolute Grand National mode. Let's start with rose quartz. The dumortierite-like included variety of silicon dioxide characterized by a lovely pink hue. They don't seem to have got this wrong, but it would have been quite difficult to f that one up, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Next one is carnelian, a variety of ferruginous quartz, which is often heat-treated to induce that colour, so I assume that's probably what's gone on here, because you rarely see those like that in nature. Labradorite, which is a variety of feldspar, often characterized by an optical phenomenon known as labradorization or labradorescence, which is absolutely not what the is. Now, moving on now to an obvious typo, which is tegerite, which is probably supposed to be tigerite, which is a silicate mineral, which is characterized by crocidillite, and it is a pseudomorph. And again, just to ram this one home, is absolutely not what that is. Moving on to lazuli, which looks like a variety of sodalite, which is a constituent of lapis lazuli, so I'm not really quite sure what they were going for there. Not only have they missed out the prefix, but they seem to have got the mineral wrong. Amethyst, which they haven't up, but again, that would have been quite tricky. Purple agate, it's not concentrically banded, so I wouldn't characterize that as an agate. It just looks like a milky variety of silicon dioxide. The sunstone doesn't have any metallic or mica inclusions inside, which means that it just looks like an iron-infused variety of feldspar. Citrine is actually a baked variety of amethyst and in no way conforms to what we would actually call citrine. Strawberry quartz is actually extremely rare in nature, and I doubt you that that's what that is. It looks like a treated variety of quartz. Amazolite, again, another spelling mistake. I'm not going to take arms with what that is, because that does look like a microcrystalline variety of feldspar, which is what amazonite actually is. Red jasper they seem to have got correct, which is quite refreshing. Moving down now to crystal, which is a bizarre way of describing something. You'd assume everything on the fucking board was supposed to be a crystal, but that is the reductive name they seem to have landed on. Next one we're moving on to is rhodonite, which is supposed to be a manganese silicate mineral, and I can absolutely guarantee you from the bottom of my heart that is not what that fucking is. Moving over to the right-hand side now, the white mineral is howlite, the world's most boring borate mineral. Moving further over to the right-hand side, we've got snowflake obsidian, apparently, and I say apparently because that's not what that fucking is. My personal favourite, just sliding gingerly over to the right-hand side now, we've got this lovely red mineral, which for some reason they decided to spell as gammet. I'm not going to take issue with what they have put there, because it does look like an ormondine garnet, but for some reason they've spelt it gammet, which is a bit of an egregious mistake. That would be hard for any normal functional adult to make. Next, we're moving on to white agate, again not concentrically banded, looks again like a milky variety of silicon dioxide. Carnelian, which for some reason appears on here twice for some fucking reason. Now we've got topazite, which is not really a characterization. I'm sure they were going for topaz, but that again is a variety of silicon dioxide and in no way conforms to any of the characteristics we'd expect to see in topaz. Moss agate, I'm not quite sure if this is a moss agate. It looks like a feldspar to me. Moving over to aventurine, which looks like sort of like, if it is aventurine, it's sort of a pale, crappy variety. This is the one that confuses me the most. Graptolite, which for context is an extinct variety of marine creature, so knows where they've got that one from. Bottom left-hand corner, and the final one is fluorite. They seem to have got that correct, which is incredible, really. They seem to have got a handful of these correct, which is impressive given my experience of actually reviewing these terrible pieces of crap. And if they're not egregiously wrong, they are spelt incorrectly. So you're not shopping like a billionaire, you're shopping like a